the month of August 2016, I was very drawn to the legend of King Arthur, and especially the sword in the stone, and the myth and the mysticism and the mystery that surrounds those stories, or that particular story. And I think the reason for this, or I was taught or led to believe in the end, that this is because we are all looking for direction. Some of us desperately looking for direction. And this month, I think, is all about finding that direction, that determination to pull that sword out of the stone and head off on that quest, having direction to do what you like. So I hope you enjoy what I did with this month. And I did more or less the same theme for each of the star signs. Sagittarius, this is your August 2016 reading. We're going to start with love and partnerships and move on to your general forecast. The first card that comes up is your archetype card, and this card suggests that you be mindful of what you think you are doing because someone else needs it or is in a bad way, so you need to help them out with whatever is going on in your partnerships and relationships. It says altruism is very important, but to be mindful of when letting someone else do what they need to do is more important than one jumping in to help them. Sometimes people need to be left to their own devices to do what needs to be done in their lives, to go through the processes. You can be there as a shoulder for them to cry on or somebody to lean on, but don't automatically jump in and try to do something because you feel a person needs it in their life. And if that's in your own love, partnership or relationship, be especially mindful of that. Be especially mindful of doing things with a thought in mind it is specifically for the other person. Check that motivation as well, because sometimes we do things which we think are specifically for someone else. In the meantime, it's actually because it makes our lives more comfortable, and then we're not always doing the other person a favor. Now, the card that's the magic, in other words, the divine spark to be found in your partnerships and relationships this month, says that accept that sometimes relationships can and will cause pain. So that's possibly where you're trying to dive in here. You don't feel like the discomfort or the hurt, or you don't feel like watching what you're doing will have, what effect, what you are doing will have on the other person when it's necessary to do what needs to be done. Sometimes one's just got to pull up, suck it in, and accept that pain can be part, emotional pain as such can be part of partnerships and relationships. And if necessary, have a good cry, or go and sit with that feeling for a while, acknowledge it, accept it, let it move through you. What this card is basically saying, don't dam it up and don't deny it, don't cling to it either, let it work through you. Then the mystery card says, love will die if held too tightly, and love will fly if held too lightly. There's a lot of control issues coming up this month in people's love and partnership readings for many of the star signs. And this is about letting go a little, stepping back a little, letting people come to you, accepting people will stick around with you if they want to, so not forcing them to, also not putting control into the situation all the time because you don't want people to get hurt, or what you do, might affect people, so you don't do it. It's just controlling all the time. We need to let go of that. Love flourishes if you give it the attention that it needs, but then allow it to do what it needs to be done, what needs to be doing as well. Then your guidance card says that karma is at work here. In other words, fate is at work here. Now, often with fate, these are situations that are brought into your life, and they are, as such, deposited on your front doorstep. And the freedom of choice here comes in how you respond to it. So the situation is not going to go away, but how you respond to it is going to make a big difference to the destiny, to the outcome. So understand that the situation with your partnership or relationships is fate at work here. And all that you can do, and it's not all, that's the biggest thing that can be done, is how you emotionally and physically respond to the situation. And your guidance has been given in here. So listen to it again if you need to get clarity on that. Now, your general forecast, the first card that comes up is the outlook for the month. And this is the Moonlight card, and this says listen to your intuition. Don't second guess it, because Spirit will be sending you messages this month with guidance on how to work through whatever is happening this month. So pay attention to your intuition. You will be getting strong guidance from Spirit. Your challenge card says you're about to move forward and begin anew. This has been brewing for a long time for Sagittarius. It's a big move that Sagittarians are making, one level or another. And the people around you are having to make adjustments to it, and certain of them are not happy about it or not going to be happy about it. But it is seemingly very necessary for you to be making this move forward in your life, and you're about to embark on that new part of your life now. And it says, firstly, take stock of how far you've come. And what's important here is to let go of judgment, both of yourself and of others. This isn't about judging other people. It's not about judging yourself. It's just taking a good look at how you arrived where you are now and where you'd like to go to from here. Because your direction card then says you're going to be stepping forth in this new direction. You're going to step forth boldly, willingly, on an adventure in a new direction. And this card, the swallows are flying in the direction that this woman is now taking off, and the ship is sailing in that direction too. So it says you have the wind at your back and you are heading in the right direction. You've just got to be brave enough to take that move and to go with your head held high and your shoulders pulled back, right? Because once again, your guidance card says travel across earth and oversea to securely embrace your dream. So this card is saying you've got to be prepared to go the distance, whatever this dream of yours is, whatever it is you feel you have to do for yourself now. And don't let people's emotional responses stop you. Don't let that be the thing that stops you from doing what you feel needs to be done. There's been quite a bit of discussion in your readings in the last few months also of perhaps not laying out your entire plan to people just yet because they are not going to be willing to accept it. This doesn't mean lying. This just means easing people into the idea of what you're going to do. So perhaps don't discuss every single detail with them because they may come down on you and say it's a bad idea, and you may then back off thinking perhaps it isn't a good idea. For one, pay attention to your intuition. It's going to guide you properly. And secondly, understand that you are going to come up against resistance, so you've got to balance how you deal with it. But it says go the distance. Do what you need to do to realize that dream. It's an important part of your evolution and personal growth. Right, Sagittarius, if you would like a reading into what exactly all is going to be happening in this forward movement and evolution in your lives, looks like you guys are going to be taking a big step, you can contact me at theoracletimes@gmail.com or through the website. Both links are in the owl pick, which should be coming up now or has just come up. Right, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching and listening.